go ahead and stop online as well. We'll take a 5-minute break and then come back and check it. So see you at 5:07.
Where's Manoj at today?
His wife had to go out of town, and so
Oh. I see.
sport.
Football.
right, let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and read off answers to you so you don't have to do the flip back and forth thing. And if you do have any questions about something, go ahead and circle it and we'll get back to it in just a second. So take this off. All right, question 1 is B. Question 2, G, as in goat. 3 is A, 4 is H, 5 is A, 6 is G, as in good. 7, E, elephant. 8, J, 9, C. Question 10 is H. Question 11 is E. Question 12 is G. Question 13 is A. Question 14 is K. Question 15 is E. Question 16 is J. Question 17 is D. Question 18 is G. Question 19 is B, as in boy. Question 20 is F. Question 21 is C. Question 22 is K. Question 23, am I going too fast?
Nope.
Is A. Question 23 is A. Question 24 is G. Question 25 is D. Question 26 is F. Question 27 is C. Question 28 is H. Question 29 is A. Question 30 is H. Question 31 is C. Question 32 is J. Question 33 is C. Question 34 is G. Question 35 is A. Question 36 is G. Question 37 is E. Question 38 is J. Question 39 is C. Question 40 is K. Question 41 is C. Question 42 is G. Question 43 is D, as in dog. Question 44 is K. Question 45 is A. Question 46 is K. Question 47 is D. Question 48 is F. Question 49 is B. Question 50 is K. Question 51 is D. Question 52 is J. Question 53 is E. Question 54 is J. Question 55 is B. Question 56 is G. Question 57 is A. Question 58 is J. Question 59 is D. Question 60 is K. So this is definitely the case of, you could probably do all of those, but that is a lot to do in an hour. Does it feel like you're flying?
A little bit, yeah.
Alright, giving you a chance to look over your stuff.
Can we do 17?
Sure. 17. Okay. So she runs at 8 miles per hour. And the question is, how many miles will she run in 12 minutes? So how did you go at it?
I put 8 miles over 1 hour, and then 1 hour is 60 minutes.
Okay. So you were converting this to get to
Oh, I didn't
minutes.
times by 12 then.
Okay, so you got your rate,
Yeah.
but then you forgot to multiply it.
That is what I did. So
The
if I-
other thing you could do is just take 12 minutes and divide by 60 and get it as a decimal of I have this fraction of an hour and take that fraction times 8
Okay.
would be the other way to go at that one.
Was that answer D?
I wouldn't know. I just read them in a great big wall of sound.
Let's see. What is-
Science reading.
Yeah. First one, 17. Yeah, it is D. Perfect.
Okay. So,
Yep, that's where we're at. Okay.
any questions from 17 or before from online? Oh, somebody's here. Hello, Reagan. We have just finished doing the practice test that starts in the official ACT prep guide. It starts on 7:46, I want to say.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are going over answers for that and taking questions.
Can you go over 31?
Okay, given f of x equals 2 over x, x plus 1, which is or are the real values of t for which f of t equals t. So they're saying if you plug in that value, it should give us the same answer. So for instance, you put in 1, you get 1. So if we put in -1, what happens?
You get 0.
You get 0, divide by 0, error, definitely doesn't equal. So we know -1 is out, so A and D, no go.
Yep.
So 2, if we put in 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 2/3 doesn't equal the original 2, and so it's not equal to itself. B is out.
Okay.
So, -2, we have 2, -2 plus 1 is going to be -1, and we get -2. That works. And since C is the only one that includes that, but both C and E have 1 in them, process of elimination, I think it would be C.
Okay.
So that one's just a really quick gut check. Does it work? Understanding that they have to equal what you put in, what you get out. That's probably the key point there, other than the guess and, well, not guess and check, but the test and check.
Okay.
All right. Any questions from before 30 from online? If you really don't want to unmute yourself, you could type a number.
Can you go over 40?
Yeah. So Anna and Amy start a landscaping job together. When Anna stopped, she'd completed 2/5 of the job. When Amy stopped, she had completed 1/3 of the job. And then Ruben completed the rest of the job in 2 hours. So, assume that Anna, Amy, and Ruben all worked at the same rate. Which of the following values is closest to the numbers of hours it would have taken one of them to complete the entire job alone? So, first thing that you're going to want to do is combine those into a single fraction to know how much of this job has been done. So, it's going to be over 15, and this one will be multiplied by 3 or 6 fifteenths. This one will be multiplied by 5, and it'll be 5 fifteenths, and so we have 11 fifteenths. So, how much did Ruben do?
4/15.
4 fifteenths. So 4 fifteenths of the job was done in 2 hours. So I know what I want to do. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to explain it. So we know that 4 fifteenths takes 2 hours. So you just do 4 fifteenths x equals 2 hours, or equals 2.
Okay.
And then you can find out what x is.
Okay.
And x is literally just how long it took to do the job. And so you don't have to calculate anything beyond that. You
7.
have 4 fifteenths of this equals 2, so find out how long the entire thing was.
Alright.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Good. The other way I was thinking was longer, so.
And 43.
I had 43 circled. I was trying to guess which ones people might ask about, and up until now I had gotten them all wrong. So, this is just a whole bunch of common denominatoring, but we want to do it as quickly as possible. Yeah, we're gonna try this one and see if it's showing up better. So, we have x over 3 plus 1/2. And this is all over 2/3 minus 1/4. And we are trying to reduce it. So we're not solving for x, we're not finding an x, we're just trying to simplify it and get rid of all of those lovely fractions. So, my favorite thing about math is that you can multiply the top and the bottom by the same thing, or multiply by 1, and it doesn't change it at all. It just changes how it looks.
Okay.
And so, here, it's like back to 5th grade. What's the least common multiple of 3, 2, and 4? 12. And so we're going to multiply this whole thing by 12 over 12.
Okay.
And so the tricky part is every piece is getting multiplied by 12, but in reality it's getting multiplied by what's left over.
Okay.
So here if we multiply by 12, 12 divided by 3 is 4. And so we're going to have 4x.
Okay.
12 divided by 2 is 6. This is 6. 2/3 divided by 12. Well, first of all, 12 divided by 3 is the 4 again. 4 times 2 is 8.
Okay.
And then 12 divided by 4 is 3. So we have minus 3. And then 8 minus 3. Sorry, lousy 4. But
Perfect.
just being familiar with that least common denominator thing, anytime you're using this to cancel, you're going to multiply by whatever's left over after it cancels the thing you want to get rid of.
And then 44 too.
Okay. Combinatorics. It's gonna be a huge number.
Yeah.
Go ahead and read it out to me.
An automobile license plate issued by a certain state has 6 character positions. Each of the first 3 positions contains a single digit from 0 through 9. Each of the last 3 positions contains one of the 26 letters of the alphabet. Digits and letters of the alphabet can be repeated on a license plate. How many different such license plates can be made?
Okay, so 0 to 9, how many digits are there?
10.
10. So we have 10 possibilities. How many do we have for the next one?
10.
Because it can be repeated, it's not like something's taken up. And then again,
10.
next number, 10. So how many letters?
26. 26 and 26.
And we are just
Um,
multiplying all of those. Huge number. Which is why they do it.
Yeah. I was-
In California and Texas, they have to put 7 though. They have so many people that they have to issue 7-digit license plates.
that is
Just to
it.
give you perspective of how enormous they are.
Okay. 49.
All right. Oh, we'll have cosines. I did think about this one. Good news is they give the formula to you. Bad news is it might take a little while. So
Yes.
we have a triangle with the lengths 37, 38, and 39. Which of the following expressions gives the measure of the largest angle of the triangle? And they give you 37, 38, 39, and for my sanity to talk about it, I'm giving it angle corner
Right.
labels. So we have c squared equals a squared plus b squared, and it's minus, yeah, minus 2ab.
Yep. Cosine C.
So, I wrote it poorly, but reminder, this c is talking about the little side length, that c is talking about the big angle.
Yep.
So, they ask us to find the measure of the largest angle. So the first thing I'm gonna reference is the measure of the largest angle matches up with which side?
The longest side.
The longest side. And so if we want to match up with 39, we're talking about this C right here, which I manipulated a little bit because it's easier to match up with the formula. And so I put C across from the biggest one just as a mental landmark, so we're not trying to rework that formula over there. So we have C squared, 39 equals A and B don't matter at all.
Okay.
Because we're adding them together, it's just the 37 squared plus the 38 squared. I don't even know if that matches up. Oh, it does. Yay, I did it right. But minus 2 times 37 plus, plus, times 38 times cosine of C. So, before you get out your calculator, look at the way they gave you the answer.
You have to get cosine out. Oh, you can just. Yeah.
You can just calculate it. You don't have to find the number. It's just in terms of this. And so, oops, I forgot the squares. Don't do that. But we've got 39, and we're going to minus the 38 squared and the 37 squared.
Yep.
And I don't know if they have it as a minus distributive. No, they do have it as minus both pieces.
Yep.
So that's just checking a format. And then you'd be dividing by this chunk.
Okay.
So we're dividing by -2, 37, 38. And then finally, since this is the cosine, we'd be doing the undo cosine inverse of all that.
Okay.
So, even if you pull a me and you forget your calculator on test day, there will still be a lot of stuff like that that you can just answer, because they don't want the number, they want to show you know what the setup is. All right,
I think that's it.
that's it. All right. Questions from online before I just talk about a few things for the next 15 minutes. All right. So, on number 7, you had the regular hexagon inscribed in a circle whose radius is 4 inches. What's the perimeter in inches of the hexagon? So, I think that in order to do this, you have to know what I'm going for, but I just want to talk about it. How did you solve that?
I kind of guessed, and I guessed that the radius was each side of the hexagon, and then I added them all up, and it worked.
All right, you got lucky then.
Yep.
So let's talk about the math behind why.
Okay.
So a radius of our hexagon is here. And we've got our circle inscribing it all the way around. So what this is useful for is I wanted to talk about arc measure. Arc measure is talking about this here, and it harkens back to the angle inside of here. And on a regular hexagon, we've got 6 sides. Regular means they're all the same. It's getting divided up into 6 equal pieces. So you have your full circle of 360. One angle out of that 6 is just 60 degrees. And so this angle is 60. This arc measure is also 60. If it's 60, it's an equilateral triangle. And so yes, this side is the same side as this side is the same as that. And so it does work out that way. But it was because it was a hexagon. If it were an octagon or a square, it would not be the same.
Okay.
If it were an octagon or a square, go back to right angles Pythagorean theorem and you can find that length.
Sounds good.
So, with that, I'm trying to remember what it's called. I know I wanted to talk about it, but now my brain is freezing and I don't want to teach you wrong. So, inscribed angle, that's what I want. So we've got this arc measure here. If we keep the same chunk of circle and instead go all the way to the edge of the circle, do you know what this angle is?
No.
It's exactly half.
Okay. So it'd be 30.
So it'd be 30.
Okay.
And that works for all of these. If they tell you that this arc measure is 72 degrees,
And then you just take half of that if you go.
then it'd just be 36. And not only that, it doesn't matter where it's positioned. If it's positioned over here, it's 36. If it's positioned over here,
So
it's
okay.
36. And so anywhere along that circle, it's just going to be exactly half.
Okay.
And those can be kind of useful to know.
Sounds good.
So that was one of the ones that I wanted to share with you. Just 7 made me think of it. Oh, I wonder if they've talked about inscribed angles. All right, so 11, did you have any trouble with that setup with the hot dogs?
It took me a little bit, but then I kind of figured out what he was talking about.
Okay. So with those in particular, it tells us that she's selling the hot dogs for $2 each. And so it's just gonna be 2 times hot dogs, right? And we're comparing it to $200. So do we want the amount that she's making with hot dogs to be greater than $200 or less than $200?
You want it to be great.
Yeah, and so it's really easy right here
And then you
to set it up and then just subtract the 200 from both sides. It's a lot easier than looking at the options they give you and trying to wrap my head around, okay, where is the 200 and which way does the inequality go now? And so if you write the inequality and then solve it over, way easier to see. All right. And 15, I just wanted to ask about this one because this is the one that I taught you. How did the matrices with a constant go?
It wouldn't get it for me.
Woohoo! All right, so number 19.
Yep.
How did you solve that one?
Well, with the interior alternate angles, I knew that the vertical angle of A was 132,
Okay.
and then I just, since it's on a straight line, the one on the
Mm-hmm.
on the line with A is 48. So I just did 90 plus 48,
Okay.
which was 130. No, yeah, one something,
Mm-hmm.
and then I subtracted that from 180.
Okay, that works perfectly. The other option is you can say, okay, I've got a right triangle. It doesn't matter about this thing at all. I still have a right triangle. And you can solve it that way too. But either way works, and yours was great. So just checking in there. Ba-dum. 22, the weighted grades. How did you?
So I added all those numbers up, divided by 4 to see what like the percentage was right now,
Okay.
and then I just added all these to my original and divided by 5.
Okay.
Well, I started with 136 and I realized like it wasn't even close to 90%,
Mm-hmm.
and then I skipped 176,
Okay.
and then I went to 196 for final.
All right.
So it's kind of just a guess and check.
Mm-hmm. So the important thing is to know that that final exam is worth 200 points, and so it changes the total value not by 100 but by another 200 when
Right.
you're dividing.
Yep.
And so as long as you're getting that, you are good. All right. 30. How is your pre-calc going?
It was actually going. I actually got that right.
Excellent.
It took me a little bit, but I did get it.
With those, the best shorthand I can think of, because the actual numbers aren't bad, it's getting the signs right
Yep.
that's a little weird.
Yeah, the signs kind of confused me, but then I realized it was like if there would have been a positive 21 over 29.
It would have tripped you.
Yeah, because I just saw 21 over 29. And I just wrote that one down.
Okay, so we have sine, cosine, and tangent are our 3 things, right? So which value does sine correspond to?
Which value does
Is it the x or the y?
X?
So if we draw in our triangle, here's our angle. Sine is
It'd be y.
opposite, so it'd be the y.
Yep.
And then cosine,
It'd be the F.
it'd be the x, and then the tangent
It'd be the Z.
will be almost. Tangent equals sine over cosine,
Okay.
so it's just going to be
X over
y over x.
Okay.
So, again, now we can look at the quadrant. Sine is going to be positive. Y is going to be positive in the first quadrant and the second quadrant.
And then
It's going to be negative down here. Cosine is going to be positive in the first and the fourth,
Yep.
and negative back here.
Okay.
And then tangent, y divided by x, when they're both positive, tangent's positive.
Oh,
When
so
they're both negative, they're both positive.
That's what it means when
But-
it's greater than 90 and less than 180. That's
Uh-huh.
what, it's telling you what signs are.
Yeah, and so
Okay.
that greater than 90, less than 180 is telling you that it's in this quadrant.
Okay.
And so then you're looking at sine, cosine, or tangent, and you know which number to
Okay.
look for.
I was really confused what that was trying to tell me.
Yeah, so
That
that's
makes sense.
why I did that one.
Okay.
37, it just looked fun. What did the answer turn out to be? I was curious.
I didn't get it right.
Oh, okay, well, let's talk about 37 then.
I thought it was no solution because when I said them equal to each other, they equaled each other.
Ah, did they equal each other as in true or equal each other as in false?
X plus 6 equals x plus 6.
So, is that true or false?
It'd be true.
Yes.
So
So
it'd be
if it comes out to be true, you get something like x equals x, and that's true for all the numbers, and it's all
So-
real solutions.
Okay, that I just put no solution. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I just
So
mixed that
no
up.
solution is if you get something like x plus 3 equals x minus 2.
And then-
You subtract x from both sides, you're going to get something like 3 equals negative 2.
which is never.
That is no solution.
Okay.
And so the all reals versus no solution, is it true or not? Yes, it's redundant. Yes,
Okay.
the variables cancel all the way, but the question is it true or not?
Okay.
Number 35. I wanted to jump up at that one.
I did get that one right.
So, when considering the changing triangle formed by A, B, and the moving airplane C, which of the angles below increases in measure as the airplane flies west beyond the point directly above A? So, we've got A and B on the ground, and an airplane. Flying for point C. So it tells us it's flying west directly above point A. So I have completely drawn my picture wrong because I have it flying east, but we can fix that. We have a magic airplane that flies backwards. So here is our original, per se, and we're going to have a second airplane there, and there's also one kind of in the middle there. So, take this angle by angle. Is A getting bigger?
Yes.
Here is A in the original. Here is A in the final. How do those sizes match?
That one's getting smaller.
That one's getting smaller. So A is not getting smaller. 1 is out. So we can cross off A, we can cross off C, we can cross off D. None of those are growing bigger. Unless I've drawn it wrong, because
Number
35.
The answer was A.
Hmm.
It should be starting closer to B and then going towards A.
Oh,
You just have it drawn backwards.
all right. Beyond the point, directly above A, though.
So it's flying over A.
Yeah.
Like it's flying towards A. So, but like it's starting, like, if you look at it, it's starting like towards B,
Mm-hmm.
and it's flying this way. So then this line would
Okay.
just keep going like this.
I hate that question. I object. All right, I've messed one up, but 38, easy point.
38. Yeah.
Okay, that one just made me smile. And we talked about 43 already. We talked about 49.
Yep.
All right. So we have 3 minutes left. Do you want to talk about 51, 55, or 56, or do they all seem pretty?
51, we're good. 55. And what was the other one? 51, 55.
And 56.
We can go over 56, yeah.
Okay. So the mean of the set of 5 numbers, and they give us the 5 numbers as 42, 3, 11,
27 and X.
and so mean is, we have all of these being added together,
And divided.
divided by 5 equals 24.
Okay.
In a calculator, I would be taking 24 times 5 and then just subtracting
All of
42 minus 3 minus 11 minus 27
To
will
get
give
the
you
X.
X really quick.
these. Okay.
So there is our X. And what did you get? Did you get that far?
No.
All right, calculator. 24 times 5 minus 42 minus 3 minus 11 minus 27.
37.
Okay, X equals 37.
Yep.
So the next one says
That'd be 53.
that the median of the set of 4 numbers is 53, 8, 29, and Y 38. So I'm going to put those in some semblance of order.
Okay.
We have 8, we have 29, we have Y, and we have 53. And just based off those numbers, gut-wise, I'm saying Y can't possibly be bigger than 53. That would throw off our median a lot. But our median is 38. And that comes from when we have an even set,
Do add them.
do
Yep.
the average of the 2 middle ones. And so we're going to have 29 plus Y divided by 2 equals 38. And again, calculator, 38 times 2 minus 29.
47. And then you just subtract and you get 10.
And so X minus Y, X minus Y,
Negative.
not quite 10. Make sure you get the negative 10.
Perfect.
So, do you see how you can use the calculator to speed that up a whole lot?
Yeah.
Do that. Don't try and do all the sub stuff.
Okay.
And that is the end of the tutorial for the day.
Perfect.
So, if you can help me with the chairs,
Yep.
I will get them settled and then we will be done. So, thank you for being here. That would have been a really boring class.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Oh. All right. And for you guys, I hope that you got something out of it. Have a good night.